Today I'm going to talk about bookmarks. Bookmarks are a very simple and useful way to remember a position to return to later. The quick way to add a bookmark is to just press Ctrl F2, which creates an unnamed bookmark. Actually, pressing Ctrl F2 is more of a toggle, since if you press it on top of a bookmark, then the bookmark is deleted. Now there are also several toolbar buttons on the navigation bar. Button here just toggles a bookmark just like pressing Ctrl F2. In this menu there's also buttons to go to the previous and next bookmark in a file, which is also achieved just by pressing F2 or Shift F2. Also on the menu is a button here that clears all the bookmarks in the file, and this one hides all the bookmarks without actually deleting them. Finally, next to the bookmark button is the bookmark tool, which shows you all the bookmarks in the currently active file. Note that as you move the cursor around the file, the bookmark tool is updated to show the nearest bookmark above the current cursor position. You can also quickly jump to a specific bookmark by selecting it from the drop-down list. A more powerful way to work with bookmarks is to use the Bookmarks dialog, which you can open from the Edit menu, or just right-click on the menu bar and select Bookmarks. The Bookmarks dialog is a modeless dialog, which means that it moves out of the way of the cursor when it's floating. I'm just going to dock it at the moment, so I'll just put it over here. You may have noticed that these unnamed bookmarks that we created using Ctrl F2 have been added to the dialog with the prefix unnamed. You can sort them by name or any column actually, so I'll just sort that now. I'll just demonstrate adding a bookmark. So say we wanted to add a bookmark here, and then we can click the Create Bookmark button and give it a name. The Bookmarks dialog has several columns which you can turn on and off just by right-clicking on any of the column headers and selecting. The name column is obviously the name of the bookmark, and the file, folder and byte number identify where the bookmark is. The modified column says when you created or last moved the bookmark, and the access column says when you last jumped to the bookmark. You can sort any of these columns and resize them, of course, too. You can easily rename a bookmark simply by clicking on the name and typing in a new one. And you can also delete bookmarks quite simply by selecting. I might just delete some of these unnamed ones to tidy things up a bit, and clicking the delete button. The sorting option is quite useful with delete. For example, say you wanted to delete all the bookmarks you haven't used this year, you could just sort on the last access time and then select all the old ones and click the delete button. You've got to be careful when deleting, because bookmarks, once you've deleted them, you can't get them back, unlike other things like highlighting, which is fully undoable. You also might have noticed that there's some bookmarks here which all have the same name. In earlier versions of HexEdit, the bookmark names had to be unique, but now you can use the same name as long as they're in different files. I should mention at this stage that bookmarks are stored in a global list, which is stored in a file called Bookmarks in your local application data folder under the HexEdit, this file here. This is the main reason you cannot undo bookmarks, unlike the other formatting information which is associated with a file, such as highlighting. But there are advantages. For example, you can open a bookmark even when the file is not open. If I double click on this bookmark, it will automatically open the file. Finally, I should explain the validate button. Since a bookmark is stored separately from the file that it points to, it's possible to have bookmarks pointing to files that no longer exist. Or you could have a bookmark for a location past the end of file for a file that has been shortened. The validate button just checks for these and deletes or moves them. There's also a drop-down menu which has an option to keep network and removable files. For example, you may not want to remove bookmarks that are on a network drive or on a USB stick, even if HexEdit cannot currently find them. Just click that now, and it says 2 bookmarks were deleted. One thing you should watch out for is that you can't add a bookmark to a new file until it has been written to disk. So you notice here that the Add Bookmark button is disabled because the file hasn't been saved yet. There are a lot of ways that bookmarks are integrated with other parts of HexEdit, and I will cover them shortly in another video.